Why Bitcoin? First of all, let's clarify the following. What is the difference between Bitcoin and the rest of the other cryptocurrencies, altcoins, tokens? What is the difference? Well, I'm talking to you with the greatest transparency and clarity in the world. Bitcoin does not have a CEO. That is, behind Bitcoin, there is no CEO, there is no company, and that is why Bitcoin is the reference point for all the investments we make in cryptocurrencies. In fact, many companies invest in Bitcoin. So what do we have to do as cryptocurrency investors? Even if we are looking to make small investments of $10, $100, $1,000, is this the time to invest with the current market reality? Is all this going to end? Is Web 3.0 over? Will the blockchain disappear? I will only tell you something, blockchain technology is here to stay and was discovered through Bitcoin, and Bitcoin for now is the reference to analyze the crypto markets. Many things are said, there is a lot of material on the internet, but I also want to invite you to validate what I tell you, the veracity of what I tell you. Up here I'm going to leave you a video that I made a few years ago about Bitcoin. I apologize for the sound. At that time there were barely 4,200 cryptocurrencies registered in CoinMarketCap. Today they already exceed 20,000. The growth has been overwhelming. However, many investors and developers are working on projects and creating centralized and decentralized platforms. Not all really do it with an objective of generating added value for society. Many are only looking for opportunities to take advantage of the lack of knowledge that exists in this matter and make their own, or in other words, defraud citizens. In this sense, my recommendation is that all the investments you can make in the world of cryptocurrencies, do it first with the necessary knowledge. Can we now invest in Bitcoin? Of course yes, but it is necessary to keep in mind that because it is a high-risk market, we can lose our investment, but we can also generate profits and withdraw at the time we consider most appropriate. However, keep in mind that there are many platforms that are not safe. No matter how much they sell you that they are safe, they are not, and the clearest example is FTX, declared bankrupt, one of the companies that was at the top of the main exchanges in the world. Binance recently just moved more than 127,000 bitcoins to an wallet. Small investors may not pay attention to this type of information, but it is a very important and relevant data. Something is happening in the global world and financial markets. The economies of the countries tremble, and there are very few countries that are currently economically sound. A country like El Salvador is betting on Bitcoin because those who have Bitcoin and are holding it because they bought it at a price of $100, $200, $300, $800, $1,000 is still in profits, but there are also many people who are at a loss because they bought above $30,000. But many continue to keep their bitcoins. In fact, they have bought more. But there are also many people who have lost their money because of the FTX case. At the time I am recording this video is also declaring bankruptcy another BlockFi exchange, and there is much more. However, panic is not a good advisor, and most likely all this will happen. Consider my recommendations and always be alert, and remember that if you use a centralized platform, these platforms can go bankrupt. They can disappear at any time, and if you invest in decentralized finance, your platforms can also be hacked. And although it is preferable to work with a private wallet, now it turns out that many of them are changing their policies, as is the case of MetaMask, which is one of the most popular wallets, recently announced that it will have access to our IP addresses, so be careful. So where are we going? What do we have to do? Technology will continue to advance, it will continue to grow, it will continue to strengthen much more. Large companies will move large resources, and this is a chess game, and you can take advantage of what is happening with small investments without ambition. Buy when the market is bearish, sell when rising, invest in Bitcoin and store is a recommendation. It is not an investment advice, it is okay. As for PXP, why do I promote a project for a centralized exchange? And I seem to contradict myself. Why do I promote this project? What strikes me about Pointpay and its PXP token? I'm honest with you, after the launch of the ICO, this company went through a lot of problems that have to do with the design of its platform, problems that have to do with the decision making of the previous CEO, and it has been said a lot that it is a scam company. However, Pointpay continues to work and do amazing things. Now the serious question, can disappear Pointpay? Of course, Binance, the largest cryptocurrency trading company, can disappear? Of course it can also disappear. This story is not over yet. Who knew that FTX was going bankrupt, that there were dubious businesses? Before creating content, cryptocurrency videos, I spent a lot of time working with artificial intelligence companies and discovered many things, what was to come and why these companies invested so much in those years 2014 to 2018 in hiring many technology professionals around the world. Back then I was an application tester, and although I am a programmer today, I do not program, but I have the necessary knowledge to know when there is progress in a project and when there is not. How many years did it take for artificial intelligence to start bearing fruit? So why PXP? Why Pointpay? Good, because this company could have disappeared, but they did not. The board of directors or those responsible for this project decided to face the problem, being that all those who invested at the time withheld their money and were in a very critical situation. That's why I promote Pointpay, but there is more. Pointpay decides to hire a new CEO, but this new CEO is a developer and with knowledge of the financial markets. When I detect and see his first AMA and start following up everything he had announced about what happened with Pointpay, first of all I could immediately realize that he was speaking honestly and announces the work plan and the important changes he plans to make, especially the transformation of the code, and so far he has fulfilled it and has been transparent in everything, including, I had the opportunity to give him an interview that is available on this channel. Vladimir at no time has failed to show his face. On the contrary, he remains very active in making known everything about this project, and everything it promises has been fulfilled, and what has not been fulfilled is a product of the same market situation. But what happened to PXP during the fall of the cryptocurrency market, and especially BTC? PXP was maintained. This is another important fact. It was maintained. Why? Because Pointpay has never told its investors that its assets disappeared. Pointpay has an incredible future, a future as long as Vladimir continues as CEO of Pointpay. But there is more for you. Pointpay is a very active platform on social networks that does not stop interacting with its community. How many projects interact daily with its community? How many projects give you the opportunity to interact with your CEO? There are very few, as far as I know, only Pointpay. So Pointpay keep working and innovating. I have no doubt that if they follow this path, they will succeed. And if you are a Pointpay investor, you have investments in Pointpay. Continue to rely on this platform. Of course, the decision is yours. While the cryptocurrency market is down, many opportunities present themselves. Always make a graphical analysis and a comparison with Bitcoin. You do not need to use very sophisticated applications. You can do it in coinco.com or coinmarketcap.com. It is very easy to do as you are seeing it on the screen. I hope you liked this video and keep in mind why Bitcoin. Why Pointpay? Why Pointpay PXP?